Like, I literally had to learn how to learn. Got to college, took chemistry. And to go along with that, I'm just going to put this out there that Emory is not in any way, shape, or form, anything like that, a party school. Like, at all. Emory is not a party school. That is especially if you are pre-med. If you're pre-med, you should really be putting in that work. High school was a breeze, all A's. I studied, but like not as much as I do now. Not half as much as I do now. Probably not even a quarter as much as I do now. Welcome to my channel. You're watching It's Monty Baby. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome. If you're not, what's up? It's good to see you again. So today I'm going to be doing 10 things that I wish I knew before I got to college, and I hope you guys like. Make sure to check out my other Emory videos and definitely like this video, comment, and subscribe down below. So let's get into it. Okay, actually before I get into this video, I just want to make sure that you guys know that this is completely just my experience at Emory. It could be different for different people at Emory. It could be different for people at different schools, whatever the case may be. So yeah, this is just really personalized. So number one is it probably will not be what you were expecting. So I've mentioned this in other videos before, like what you see from movies about the college experience, it really was not like that for me. Again though, I have spoken to some people that were like, oh, this school was everything I had that I imagined it to be. So one thing I have to say about that is that college, like classes at Emory, are very difficult, and you will have to set aside more time for studying than you did in high school, like most definitely. Even if you were a straight A student in high school, you are going to have to dedicate way more time to studying for classes at Emory. That is especially if you are pre-med. If you're pre-med, you should really be putting in that work. So therefore, because of that, you're not going to be like in a party scene as often as you would like to be. Actually, freshman year, a lot of people do make mistakes and like party more often than they should, but that definitely reflects in their grades. So if you're trying to have a good freshman year, like, don't expect to be partying all the time. And to go along with that, I'm just gonna put this out there that Emory is not in any way, shape, or form anything like that a party school, like at all. Emory is not a party school. Yes, we do have parties on campus. In my opinion, no, they're not good. They're relatively okay. You can find some things to do off campus too, but Emory's not a party school. You're definitely gonna be like studying. This is like a counter argument to my first thing to expect, but like you do get a lot of freedom. So if you're expecting that, you do. And that can be a good or bad thing. Like you really have to know how to handle your time, but at the same time, it's up to your discretion. So that's a good thing. Okay guys, so the second thing that I wish I knew before I got to college is that it's all about balance. Like you have to balance everything when you get to college. Along with that freedom that you get comes good decision making that you need to do when it like relates to balancing everything out. As I mentioned before, it's really important to have a balance between work and play, and that applies to many areas of your college life. It's important to have a balance between how many credits you're taking and how many clubs you're involved with. While both of those are great, you need to balance it out, because if you're involved in too many clubs, that's going to reflect on, you know, the amount of time that you have to dedicate to your classes, and it's going to reflect in your grades. But at the same time, going along with balance, I don't want to make it seem like the only thing that you're supposed to be focused on is school, which it kind of is, but you do need time to yourself. So having that balance, you need to work into your schedule time for self-care, relaxation, and just healing from a stressful week. Because at the end of the day, to do well academically, you need to be prospering as a person, like overall. School is emotionally and mentally, sometimes physically draining, so you need to have some time set aside to like restore all of those things and to make sure you're doing okay mentally. And yeah, so you just need that time to be able to actually focus on your schoolwork 100% when you do decide to go studying. Number 3 is that I can almost bet with y'all that you will not have the same friends that you did freshman year of college, your senior year of college. It's just not a thing. Like, and you've probably experienced that in high school too. When you start off, you have a huge circle of friends, and as you go up in years, second year, third year, fourth year, that circle gets smaller and smaller, and it's for the better. Because at the end of the day, you're gonna have more genuine friends that are like suited for the type of lifestyle that you want. Because who you keep around yourself reflects the type of person you are. So you're gonna have to do some weeding out. You're not gonna know people with the type of person they are after meeting them freshman year. It takes some time to actually see what kind of person they are and if you want to continue that friendship or not. And time, like most times, you're gonna end up dropping people. However, to go along with that, it is important to like keep up to date with some of those friends, because some people you'll just fall off with because you guys have different schedules, or I don't know, you just don't see them as often. But if something didn't necessarily happen to end your friendship and you guys are still on good terms, I would say it's important to keep those connections and continue talking to those people. Because one, that's just a good thing to do, is keep connections with people, network. College is all about networking. But then on top of that, it's like those people can be there for you when you least expect it, with like emotional support, academic support, advice on things that they have more expertise in than you do. Number 4 is that high school A's are not college A's. Like, they're not the same thing. You're gonna have to work so much harder for an A in college than you did in high school. College is hard, and I know y'all by this point probably heard it from so many people at your graduation parties and stuff like that. People telling you that college is harder than high school. And it may not apply to all schools, but at least for Emory, I know that that is completely facts. I myself thought that people were exaggerating when they were saying college is so much more work, but they really weren't, like, at all. Because for me, like, high school was a breeze, all A's. I studied, but like not as much as I do now, not half as much as I do now, probably not even a quarter as much as I do now, and I got through it with, I think it was like a 3.8 GPA. However, at least for Emory, it takes way more effort to get a 3.8, a 4.0, whatever you're looking for. It takes so much more effort. When you get to college, you're gonna have to develop, if you don't already, but I know I didn't really have that great of like study skills when I first got to college. I literally had to learn the topics that were in my classes, and on top of that, learn how to study for those, like, that material. Like, I literally had to learn how to learn. It's crazy, but it's true. To go along with that, every class is different. Like, even if you learn a method that works for you, it might not work for this next class that you take. Different teachers have like different teaching methods, and with that comes with different studying habits that you have to have. So it's really like an ongoing process. Each class you take, you have to learn what works best for that class and what type of studying you need to do to succeed in that class. And lastly on that note is that you have to learn to say no. When, like, you need to have priorities, and if something doesn't line up with those priorities, you need to learn to say no. In college, you do not have time to be saying yes to things that don't benefit you in the long run, because it will end up hurting you. Okay, so number 5, I should put one hand down so I don't think it's 10. Number 5 is that it's important to be involved. Now, obviously, for your resume, so that you look like a developed person, like you have more to you than just taking classes. But at the same time, it's important if you want to make friends, because one of my closest friends today I met through work. I was working intramural sports, and that's how I met her. But yeah, what I'm just trying to say, guys, is that not only does it help your resume, but it helps you to get acclimated, knowing that you have a group of people with similar interests and that you can actually like have something to talk about with them other than classes. Also, on that note, freshman year will be your easiest year. Your first year is your easiest year. You'll be taking entry-level classes, you'll be taking GERs. So take advantage of that. and make sure you join a bunch of clubs and get involved to like sense where your interests lie, so that when you get to senior year and you're taking more difficult, more focused classes for your professions, you're not still kind of like scattered around and it looks like, all right, they came to college, they tested the waters with different things and they found where they're interested in, and now they're dedicated to that one thing and they're prospering and they're doing well in that one thing. That's what people like to see. Number 6 came like really from my personal experience, and that is to smile. Just like that, smile. So in my experience, if you watch my other videos about my first year experience, you know that a lot of, so I have an RBF and I used to walk around campus with my RBF. Just like that. And so people look at me and they think you're not approachable, and so that's why I had, well, it's not the only reason, but it definitely made it more difficult for people to approach me and for me to make friends that way. So you may not think about it, but like just the way you walk around campus matters. If you're walking around with a straight face, people are going to assume you're uptight and they're not going to want to talk to you. This isn't that important because you're there for school, but at the same time, if you want to make friends, it's not the only like determining factor, but like it does help to just walk around with a smile because it doesn't hurt, and then you're more approachable and boom, people talk to you. Whether you like it or not, people first judge you by the way you look because they look at you before they talk to you. So your aura does say a lot about who you are as a person. Even though it may not fully like represent what you stand for, it is your face and the way you carry yourself, your aura, is the first thing that tells people about you. So make sure that you are giving off the type of energy that you want people to receive. Number 7 is that freshman 15 is real. I went to college. I was a competitive swimmer in high school, and I was like, I've always been athletic and healthy and fit, and I'm not gonna gain 15 pounds. What did I do? I gained 15 pounds. So, okay, I don't think it was yes, I literally did gain 15 pounds. I didn't even drop it yet. Okay, so it's way easier than you think, because freshman year, most times I know with Emory you have unlimited like meal swipes to the dining hall, and it's buffet style. So you can literally walk in at any time, get any type of meal you want, and in whatever quantity you want. So yes, you will be gaining weight. And stress eating is a thing. I don't know about y'all, but I stress eat sometimes. So if you're getting stressed out by classes and the dining hall is open and it's cafe style, you're gonna gain 15 pounds. Sorry to let you know. And then on top of that, if you're, this goes back to being involved. If you're not involved, like if you did a sport in high school and you stopped, you didn't continue, you're not doing it. What is it called? Varsity? Like when you have the scholarship and all that, and you actually, I don't know what it's called. But if you stop getting so involved, you're just staying in your room, you're not being involved with people, you don't have friends to go hang out with and be moving all the time, you're gonna, believe me, you're gonna put on some pounds. Okay, we're getting close to the end. Number 8 is that you will end up having to ask for help. So if you're watching this video and you want to get into Emory, you got into Emory already, I'm assuming you're very smart and that high school was relatively easy for you as it was for me, and so that you're not used to asking for help. Maybe you are and that's why you did well and great for you. But like for me, I always did my work independently, and when I got to college, I noticed that that did not work at all. You will have to go to classes, and be friends with the people sitting next to you, ask them for help, because it is so useful to form study groups with people. It's so helpful. Like I am the type of person that likes to study independently, and I noticed that asking for people for help is just do it. Because like a lot of the time other students can explain information to you in a more like easily digestible way than the teacher can, because y'all are kind of at the same level, so they might like think more similarly to you than the teacher does. And yeah, that's very helpful. But what I was saying with that is just don't be afraid to ask and don't be embarrassed, because it will help you in the long run if you do ask, and you just don't want to be that type of person that learns their junior year, that if you had gone to office hours or asked the people in your class to study, that it would have been so much more helpful. And just going off of that, definitely go to office hours. I am such an awkward person, guys. I don't like talking to people. I'm really shy. But I started going to office hours, I think the end of my sophomore year, and I really saw that it makes a big difference. Because first of all, they just know that you're committed to doing the work if you come to office hours, and that just looks better. Like, you look like a better person. You build really special connections with your teachers when you do go to office hours. You get to find out that they're not just a person who stands in front of a class and lectures, and they actually have like their own family and their own hobbies and all of that, and they're really cool people. So one, that's helpful for getting possible recommendation letters to things you're applying to in the future, and two, it could just help you in your classes, like asking the teacher for help. Also, Emory has this program called ePass, and it's where other students who have taken the class already can help you study, and it's completely free. Not study, but like help you with any questions you might have, and it's completely free, and it's helpful because, like I said, sometimes other students might explain information better to you. Excuse me. Might explain other information better than the teacher does. Okay, so 9 is like just a little funny one. It's not that major because it probably won't apply to most people, but like grocery shopping is a hassle if you don't have a car. It's not impossible, and it's probably not a first year's like first priority, but like if you are tired of the dining hall food and you want to cook for yourself, if you don't have a car, you have to get on the shuttle. And first of all, you have to wait for however long it takes to come. Then once you have a bunch of bags, you have to wait for the shuttle to come back. You have to get on the shuttle with all your bags, even though it's probably already crowded. And then when it gets to campus, the bus doesn't stop in front of your room. So you have to walk from the bus stop to your room with all those bags. Again, it's not that major, but like, it was kind of annoying. If you have a car, you're straight. Good for you. I don't have a car. I'm from New York. I don't have a car. Yes, I know how to drive, but I don't have a car. And the last thing is that you will probably end up changing your major. If y'all keep up with me and you saw my other videos, you know that I have been all over the place with majors and pre-professional careers and all of that. So when I graduated high school, I was like, I'm a bio major and I'm pre-med. That's it. Got to college, took chemistry. I think I honestly can't even keep track of how many times I've changed my major. But at one point I switched to business major. I was taking pre-BBA classes. At another point it was a very short period of time, but I also thought about taking political science as a major and doing law school. There was another point I took human anatomy and physiology at the Emory's nursing school, and I thought I was going to be a nursing major, but now I'm back to I'm majoring in psychology because it's interesting to me, and you don't have to have a specific major for most professions, so I just chose that. And right now I'm still on a pre-health track. Well, I went back to my pre-health track. So yeah, it's very likely, and I know other people have definitely changed their majors. Even the people who have stayed pre-med the whole time, they've switched from bio to chem to whatever. So one very important thing that I want to mention is that your major does not define you in any way, shape, or form. So don't feel any pressure to major in a specific thing because that's what the majority of these people who take that path major in, or because this is what my parents say I should major in, or because this is what all of my friends are majoring in. None of that. Whatever you are interested in, you major in, you do well in it, and that says enough about you. And rarely do any pre-professional tracks require you to have a very specific major. For pre-med, you can major in literally whatever you want as long as you get the pre-med requirements done. Okay, so business is kind of weird because most people do get a business degree, and I would suggest you do, but there are people who have business jobs and did not get a business degree. That might only apply to some like divisions of those business jobs, because some like actually might need you to specialize in whatever you're applying to, and I'm not an expert on that, so don't take my word for it. But I've heard of people who have business jobs and they do not have business degrees, and I've heard people tell me that you do not need a business degree to get a business job. So pre-law, you do not need any specific major to go to law school, as long as you demonstrate that you have like some type of well-developed academic background and some character to you with volunteer and work experience and all of that. You should be straight. And again, I'm not pre-law, so I don't exactly know the full detail about that, but from my experience, you don't need a specific major to get into law school. The only thing that you probably need a specific major for is nursing. You need to major in nursing to get into, to be a nurse. But besides that, choose what you're interested in. Especially that you guys are probably, I'm guessing, from like 17 to 19 years old. You do not, well, let me not say any of y'all, but aside from the people who are completely sure and are actually going to like pursue whatever they have in their head right now, good for y'all. Really good for y'all. But like most people, you think you know what you want and you don't, or you don't know what you want and you're right about not knowing. Like most people at your age are not going to know what you want to do for the rest of your life. Like, think about it. And that is okay. That's why, like earlier I mentioned, freshman year is about testing the waters, exploring and experiencing a bunch of different things, because you have the time to do it now, and later in your college experience you're gonna have to be more focused on one set goal and put all your time and energy into that. Freshman year is your chance to explore, so definitely take advantage of that. Don't feel like everyone else knows exactly what they're doing, so I should know too, and don't let that pressure you into choosing something that you may not be that interested in and that you don't have that much experience to even know if you're that interested in. But yeah, that's about it for this video, guys. I hope you liked, and if you did, subscribe to your girl and comment down below and turn on your post notifications. What did I miss? Like the video, and definitely stay tuned for other Emory videos, guys, or college videos in general. So peace, deuces, see you later.